You guys want some information on best ball? Let's go over some quarterbacks that you really need to be targeting in your drafts. Let's get it. Alright, to start this video out, we're not going to be going over guys that are obvious that you want on your team, like your Josh Allens and your Patrick Mahomes. We're not doing that. We're going to go over some players that you want to be targeting early in your draft, as well as I'm going to give you a couple picks later on down the line, somebody you can get towards the end of your draft that you may want to target as well. The first guy I got on my list is Jalen Hurts. I've been touting this guy all offseason long. He's got all the tools of the trade. He's the mobile quarterback that everybody wants. Now, he's got A.J. Brown coming into town. He's already got Devonta Smith on the outfield. He's got Miles Sanders in the backfield. He's got everything that he needs right now to be successful in the NFL. I mean, last year we were really talking about his offensive line not being very well. His running backs were getting hurt all the time. This year, it looks like Jalen Hurts is kind of bulked up a little bit. He wants to make sure that he's very, very durable when he runs the ball. He runs the ball quite a bit. He's actually the main ball carrier on this team. Now he needs to start developing some type of pass game, because now that they have A.J. Brown coming over, A.J. Brown is his friend. He needs to start throwing the ball. He needs to have some big 300-yard game passing that he's not really used to having. You know, you're looking for that 100-yard rushing game, which he can definitely develop for that. But you may be in the 150 to 200 yards passing a game, which is still a great quarterback game, but you want to see him develop and to increase his passing yards down the field. I believe 2022 is going to be a great year for Jalen Hurts, and somebody you can definitely get in your best ball leagues to help you out. Jalen Hurts, because of his rushing ability, is going to have some boom weeks where he's going to give you a lot of points, and that's what you want. Whether or not he does good, whether or not he does bad, it doesn't matter in best ball. You want to make sure you capture as many players as possible that has those boom weeks. And talking about boom weeks, we're going over our second player, and that's Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, he did lose Amari Cooper this year, but I don't really think it's going to affect him that much. I mean, he has a lot going for him. He still has a decent offensive line. I know they lost Lyle Collins in the center, but that's okay. That's all right. They still have a decent offensive line. They're going to keep him upright. The defense could be a little bit better, but because of how bad that defense is, it makes Dak Prescott want to throw the ball all the time. Dak Prescott's one of those guys, he can throw 400 yards in multiple games in a row. He's done it before. Now, he does have some games that are around the 200 yards, but that's just what you got to live when you have Dak Prescott. If you're able to stack Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott, the odds of one of them having a very good game are very high. That's what you want in best ball. You want to take a couple quarterbacks that can give you those high upside weeks, week in and week out. That way you're constantly putting up points for your team. That's going to help. Dak Prescott still has CeeDee Lamb, which I think he's going to develop into quite a good wide receiver. They've got wide receiver James Washington coming over. They drafted a wide receiver. They even have wide receiver Michael Gallup that's coming back from injury. And I don't think he's going to be there to start the season. He should come in later on. But then overall, then you have Dalton Schultz at tight end. Like I said, he's got the weapons to be successful. He can easily throw 350 to 400 yards a game. The guy has an arm. He has the talent. And he can definitely get it done for you. And the third player that I'm going to go over that you can probably get early to mid rounds is going to be Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson comes over from Seattle. He now plays for Denver. He's going to be an outstanding quarterback for this team. He now has a dual threat at running back behind him and Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams. It's going to be something to where you're going to look at it and you're going to say, wow, how did I not pick this guy earlier? Russell Wilson, back in the day when he used to have Marshawn Lynch, he used to be a really good quarterback. I mean, fantasy producer. He didn't have a very good running game in Seattle. They had Rashad Penny, who came on kind of a little bit last year, but not really. The defense played like garbage. Now he's coming to a team in Denver. They have a good team. They got Courtland Sutton. They got Jerry Jeudy. They have Tim Patrick. They've got weapons. They have weapons. And it's something that Russell Wilson likes to do. He likes to throw the ball. He likes to air it out. But now he's coming to a team where he can hand the ball off, right? They're not going to be able to sit back in 2-3 high safeties. They're going to be able to have to crowd the box a little bit. This rushing attack is for real. Not to include Russell Wilson can actually use his legs as well and pick you up some yards. So he's a really good fantasy option. These three quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson. You need to really target one of these guys early on in your draft to really secure yourself later on down the line. Now, let's talk about some guys you can get towards the end of the draft that could really help you out. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Tua Tagovailoa. That's what I'm going to say his name is. It's very difficult for me. But he was an offseason winner too. He got Tyreek Hill. Now, I know there's a lot of speculation out there. Can his arm hold up to Tyreek Hill? I think it can. I think him and Tyreek Hill is going to have a nice chemistry. He started throwing to Jalen Waddle. He's got Mike Gesicki, which I believe is going to be a nice tight end this year for you. But Tua has the tools to help produce solid fantasy numbers week in and week out, and nobody's really drafting him. His ADP hasn't been rising, and I believe it should have rose at least a little bit having Tyreek Hill coming over. Now, we have to see how the chemistry is going to go, but as of right now, especially if you're drafting early in best ball, look at the weapons that Tua has. Tua will be a good option to have later on in the draft. You start out there with Jalen Hurts and Tua, I think you're going to be solid for fantasy football into the best ball realm. Okay, so the second guy we're going to go over is someone who is now a sophomore in the league, in Trey Lance. Trey Lance gets the helm for the 49ers. He's taking over for Jimmy Garoppolo. He has the legs. He likes to run the ball. I don't know if the accuracy is there yet. I don't know if the team chemistry. He got in a little bit and played for the 49ers last year, and he actually did quite well. But he does have some weapons on the outside. He's got Brandon Ayuk. He's got George Kittle. He's got those weapons. Deebo Samuel, he requested a trade. I'm not sure if he's going to be there for the season. That may be a gamble you've got to take if you're drafting right now in your best ball leagues. But he's got a lot of stuff around him. The defense, solid defense around him. So he has the tools to succeed. Can this sophomore quarterback step it up and be there? I think he possibly can. Take him later on in the draft. He's going really late in the drafts. Pick him up. He's got the rushing for his legs, which gives him a lot of upside. Take a chance on Trey Lance. You'll be happy you did. Now, the last guy we're going to talk about in this, and I know a lot of people are probably not the best or favorite on this, but Matt Ryan. Guys, if you guys remember Matt Ryan in the younger years, he was producing 300-yard passing games. He would always compete with Drew Brees in that division and throwing all over the field, especially when he had a young Julio Jones and a Roddy White, Tony Gonzalez. They had a squad over there. Now, Falcons, they're boo-boo, okay? They're not good. But now he moved over to the Colts. He's got Michael Pittman. He's got Jonathan Taylor. He's got an offense around him and a defense. Atlanta's defense stunk. Now he's with the Colts, has the Colts defense. The Colts can put him up in the games. He plays in a terrible division. He has to play the Texans twice this year. I said it, twice this year. Come on, that's a lock and load right there. It's one of those things you want to look at. You can get Matt Ryan towards the end of your draft. People ought to think they're washed up. He's old. He's not worth it. He is a fantasy quarterback. Just like you got your Tom Brady's and things like that. Age is just a number. Guys, take Matt Ryan in the late end of the draft. If you're able to snag him as your QB2, you're going to be happy you did. Now, as always, I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, hit that subscribe button. We have a lot of content coming out here very shortly. A lot of things dropping off. You don't want to miss it. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. We'll see you guys next time.